Hi and welcome to Tabletop Gaming. My name is Charlie and today we are taking a look at 10 of the best games about politics. Now, there is a bit of a flip side to this, as of course politics games aren't for everyone. Politics is complex and not fun to watch on the TV, but there can be enjoyment found on the tabletop through political alliances, failure of alliances, changes. It's all in there. So today I thought we'd do a rundown of 10 of the best of those based off a feature that originally appeared in Tabletop Gaming magazine. That list of course appeared in issue 40 and this list was written by Christopher Eggett, who is our editor. So without further ado, let's start declaring allegiances. In at number 1 is Twilight Struggle. Now there is an air of sort of getting this one out the way. It's if a list about politics could appear without Twilight Struggle on it. This is the sort of the go-to. You think that, and you end up with Twilight Struggle. This is a game of controlling countries through spies and politicians. You'll play cards in your hand to gain influence and to reduce that of your opponents, plus also having to worry about things like the military ops and the DEFCON status, amongst other things. It's a very tense, very tight political game that's really great fun to get to your table. In at number 2 is Game of Thrones, the board game, and it's pretty clear to say that politics is even more interesting when you chuck a dragon in the mix too. Now you're probably familiar with either the books or the TV series, so you have a rough idea likely of what this is going to be about, and it is about Game of Thrones. However, it is in its own right a really fun political game, so you may end up with no friends at the end of it, but at least you'll have played it properly. In at number 3 is what's been described as quieter and cleaner, with War of Whispers. You'll play as part of a secret society, but within that secret society is the negotiation of rising and falling empires. You are in the middle of it. A really nice benefit to this too is it's played over 4 rounds, so comparatively it's quite a snappy game to play through. Up next is Trajan. Now most of our ideas of modern politics are founded in Roman thoughts, and this is no different. This is going to see you trying to gain influence, much like you will in many of the games of this nature, but with consideration for things like the military and construction and even shipping. And if you have any great ideas, please feed those back, because board game shipping at the moment is like... Now whilst the original list disappeared and noted it as being perhaps a little bit fiddly, which is true of it, it's still fun to play and a really good way to play politics at the table. In at number 5 is Lizboa. Now I like this one because it's a little bit different to the ones that have preceded it. Instead of playing as sort of the secret spies or the politicians themselves, you are merely nobles. And I say merely nobles, but you are tasked with recreating the city after the earthquake of 1755. Now of course you need to do it in the best way possible so that you have the most influence. By the end you have the winning side, all whilst carrying things like wigs. Yeah, that's right, it's a political game about wigs, you've got it. In at number 6 is Crusader King. So I'll admit to not being familiar with this one at all. I didn't know it existed, but it is based on a video game, which is famous apparently for the extreme gritty fidelity to the spider web of houses and the intrigue between them. Adding in things like war and religion and then chucking that on the tabletop sounds like a great mix. This one focuses, however, on grooming your bloodline, which is pretty much as creepy as it sounds. In at number 7 is Secret Hitler. Now this is a social deduction game and a party game, so I am back on familiar territory. However, the group is split into fascists and liberals, of which of course one of those is the Secret Hitler. Now by the actions that you take, you're going to try and work out who is on your side, who is not, but the deck that you have to prove yourself is weighted in favour of the fascists, so it's very difficult to tell who is telling the truth. Did you mean to pass that fascist law, or did you have no choice based on the cards that you have? Or did you have a choice but claimed that you didn't? It's a really great way of sort of putting suspicion on your friends and trying to question them and their bluffing faces, and it's a great fun game to play. In at number 8 we have Pax Premiere. Now this is a whole whirly game. I apologise if I've said his name wrong. He has done some delightful stuff recently. Honestly, we can't stop heaping praise on him at the moment. This one is equally worthy. It is set in 19th century Afghanistan, and it is sort of the focus on the Afghan resistance versus the European powers who are attempting to seize land and make it a proxy for their own scuffles. Maybe sounds a bit familiar. It is a beautiful looking tableau builder that allows you to sort of mess with other plans and keep the balance quite nicely. So it's a really good fun one and a worthy one for our list. In at number 9 is Coup, which is another one of my personal favourites. You are allocated cards which give you roles, however, you don't know what the others have and they don't know what you have, which means you can potentially take on roles from others but they don't know whether that's accurate or not, or they call out your bluff. You have taken this action, you've taken too many coins, I don't think that's your role, and if they're correct you may lose a card. Add in things like the assassin and the contessa who can block it, and can you block it, should you block it, are you bluffing, do you have that card, are you double bluffing? It makes your brain explode in all of the best ways, so it's one that I love to play as a social deduction game, but also as a political intrigue game. In at number 10, and the last on our list, is 13 Days of the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is from the creators of Copenhagen, but it is also pitched as Twilight Struggle, but in 45 minutes. So if you thought number 1 on our list was a little bit too long in terms of gameplay, this could be the alternative option for you. It is a 2-player strategy game, and it is one with big decisions to make, and you need to try and make those accurately and as best as you possibly can. So there you have it, 10 games about politics that are ready for your tabletop. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please pop in the comments whether you like any of these, whether you would add any to this list, and as well hit like and subscribe. Thanks! You can find more from Tabletop Gaming at tabletopgaming.co.uk. That link will also allow you to subscribe to our newsletter. It will mean that you can pick up the magazine itself digitally or physically, and allow you to take a look at things like our game store or our advent calendars or our mystery boxes. They're all included within that link. Plus, of course, reviews, news, features, all that fun stuff that you can check out. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.